Peter Jackson's Lord of the Rings is a cinematic miracle?
There's two ways to answer that. As a viewer, if I pull myself out from Tolkien in the canon, I would say it is. If I put my Tolkien hat on, how much I love the Legendarium, I'm going to say he's the only person so far to be able to quintessentially capture the heart of Tolkien's themes, though he had to make some canon changes for the studio and in order to film it. But I would say, yeah, I think it's a cinematic marvel. I do.
There is evil there that does not sleep. Not many times you get a chance to sort of play a warrior, you know, and with a sword and a shield, and you're in with your comrades fighting, you know.
It's like
because he was faithful as much as he could be. And the primary position he took was, I've showed this video before in my videos, he refused to inject any of his personal ideology, the studio's ideology, the cast. It was all about Tolkien. And he actually meant it, and you could see it on screen. Now, a lot of people are going to say that, you know, there were so many characters that he changed. Some he removed, some he didn't add in, some he added that shouldn't have been in. Yes, he did that. But I think he came as close as possible to being as faithful as he could.
So they started filming that, what, 99, 2000?
Yeah, 99, yeah. 98, 99, yeah. 3 years for all three, because they shot them back to back.
And I don't know, let's say Vanity Fair.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I mean, that kind of coming back round circle. I remember the first photos from the set, and they were so amazing, George.
They were.
Just to see those, you know, just to see kind of Elijah and all them, like they were like, they had transformed themselves into Middle Earth. You're just like, wow.
They did, because they took it seriously. They fell. Those who didn't know about it fell in love with the material. Excuse me, but what they did do was something. I've been watching old interviews from the cast,
mm-hmm.
and you know, Viggo Mortensen's very active politically.
Yep.
He's progressive. Some would call him a little bit more radical, but that's not what this is about. It's about the fact that when he took that job, and I've heard him say this before, he separates out the personal from the professional. Like, he'll always in an interview wear a shirt that it has a belief that he holds. Like, whenever he would give a Rings interview, he might have worn a shirt that said "No blood for oil" because of the Iraq war. But he would never talk about it.
Right.
They'd ask him, and he's like, "No." They're like, "Well, what about your shirt?" He goes, "No, it's just something I'm wearing. I'm not discussing it." It's like he's like that. It says what it needs to say, and that has nothing to do with. How do you separate that? He goes, "Well, it's a job. That's what being professional is. I'm here to embody the character, not take all my beliefs and put them in the character."
I also remember those interviews, George. I remember the reverence, the honesty, like the honest reverence they had for Tolkien. And if I remember, they always would address him as Professor Tolkien. All these actors. I was just like, so cool, man. So cool. And then they all got tats, right? They all got tattoos.
They did. They all got the ring. I think it was the ring. I can't remember which one. But you know what was interesting about Jackson? Why I have in so many, I hope I'm not going too long here on this one, but I have so much respect for Jackson, because he was one of the very first directors who did something that we really don't even see today. Mm-hmm. He engaged with his audience in an almost interactive manner, The Fellowship especially. The thing that holds me back from saying it's the greatest series of all time, as someone who loves Tolkien so much, is because of the changes made from the books to it. That's what holds me back. But what always makes me cross that line again and go, it's so phenomenal, it's a masterpiece, is because whenever The Fellowship, when any fan around the world would find out about something from the script, would get a leaked picture, do you know that he engaged with him? What's her name? The one who played Arwen. I always forget her name.
Liv Tyler.
Liv Tyler. Okay.
Liv Tyler.
So Liv Tyler was originally in the Battle of Helm's Deep. There were shots that got leaked and that made it all the way back here. You can see them online. She was fighting. When the fans found out about that, they're like, okay, it's enough that you've swapped her out. You've swapped out her for Glorfindel. We're not going to see Glorfindel, but you're going to have her at the Battle of Helm's Deep. They flipped out, and Jackson was like, you know what? He cut the scene.
It's too
He
much.
heard the fans. He wrote a letter, and he was like, "You got it." That type of interact. What it showed you was, did he do that every time? No. But what he showed was, I respect you. I love the Lord. You love the Lord. We're going to do as much as I can to work with you.
So the way the way I see those films is absolutely they're cinematic miracles.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Absolutely.